This is the English Literature Web YouTube channel. I am Prof.L.B. Gayakawad is teaching here the topic conflict in the film. Remember the conflict, that is the struggle, and this struggle is the soul of the film, because if there is no struggle then life is useless, and the film is the presentation of life. Film is the experience of the persons in life, and that's why the film is life of the persons, and that's why there should be the conflict. If there is no conflict in the film, then it is quite possible that the film will not be successful, or nobody will see that film. It means that the conflict will attract the people, because that is the rather haughtiness, or I will say that is rather uh, prestigious point in the film, that is called the conflict, or that is called the struggle in the situation of the characters. And so here today we are discussing on the point of the conflict or the struggle in the film. There is the conflict or tension in the film, which is the heart of the film. See, just now we discussed that this conflict is there in the film, and this conflict shows the tension between the characters, and that's why this tension or this conflict is called the heart of the film, because as the man has the heart, and the man cannot live without the heart. In this way, the film cannot run without the heart, and that's why here, if there is the conflict in the film, or if there is the tension in the film, or I will say if there is the particular critical point in the life of the characters, that is called the conflict, is not there, then I will say that the film has no importance and nobody will see that film. This conflict relates with the main characters. Remember, when the point of the conflict comes to be discussed, then that point is there related with the main characters, because this conflict is shown by the main characters. These main actors, characters show the conflict in the film, because the conflict is there, and this conflict is between the main hero, heroine, and the villain. Remember, the hero and the heroine live life for goodness, where the villain lives his life for badness, and this controversy brings the conflict between them, and thus this conflict creates a tension in the lives of these persons. Remember, here we have seen that there are the main hero, main heroine, and the villain, and main hero and the heroine are running with the goodness, because they are the particular representatives of the goodness. They are there to create the social awareness for goodness in the society. They think of the moral values, but on the contrary, there is the character of the villain, and that villain does not like the moral values, and that's why the villain goes against these main characters, means he goes against the main heroine and the main hero, and this thing happens very much critical between them, and then the particular tension or the particular conflict or struggle comes there between these characters, and this struggle makes that film very much I will say competitive, and all the people or all the audience like that film, or the film become super duper in the sense of the observation of the society, because the characters show there the particular conflict which is available in the life of them in the society, and the reality of that scene is shown with the help of this conflict. And that's why here I will say that the film becomes the film of super quality. The main conflict in the film is described internally, where the characters suffer internally. Remember here, the conflict is not the simple thing. This conflict is done by the great characters, great persons. I will say that the conflict comes in the life of the persons who are really the philosophical persons, or who are really the people of moral values, or we can say the people of cherishing the moral values in the society. So all these great people do not like the badness in society, and that's why the conflict comes with them. It is the point that such type of characters are born with the conflict. They are conflict born personalities, I will say. And that's why the main conflict or struggle in the film is described internally. Remember, the conflict is not the thing which is externally. Externally means when we see the war, or when we see the quarrel between the two persons or the two countries, then we can say that this is the external thing. But actually the point of discussion is that the external war or the quarrel happen only because of the internal matters, because the internal matters happened in the heart, in the soul, or in the brain of the persons. And that's why the outcome of that internal things came out in the form of the struggle, conflict, or it became the war between the two countries, or it became the war between the two persons. So remember here, I will say that the main conflict in the film is described internally. Internally is there means the conflict is related with the heart, with the moral values, that is internal. Because the insult is there, suppose, if there is the respect there, if some person, some character is not giving the respect to the second character, and that second character wants the particular respect, and if there is no respect, or if there is the death of the moral value, then the internal struggle begins in the body of that character. And in this way it is said that the internal struggle happens there in the particular character, and that's why that internal struggle is shown in the character of the person or the woman, I will say man or woman, I will say, in the film. And that's why here the characters live in their life, and they think inwardly, they think internally, they do not express their feelings. And when that internal struggle uh, goes in high quantity, or I will say in highness, then it creates the particular war, or I will say it creates the particular struggle, conflict, or I will say the quarrel. And that's why here the concept of the conflict is there in the minds of the character in the film. Sometimes the main conflict is due to the external things also, which are caused by the surroundings or background, or environment which is there, in which the main hero or the heroine are caught and packed. Remember, uh, just we saw that the conflict is created by the internal matters, means the hero or the heroine are ideal, and that's why they think more on the particular moral value, and in the end they do not bear all those things, and that's why it goes into the conflict. But now here this point shows that the conflict is also created by the external surroundings. Remember, what is the external surroundings? I will say that if the main hero is going upon the road, the main hero is going for his work, but when he looks that there are some hooligans and they are disturbing the particular girl, that is the external surrounding, and that external surrounding is very much troublesome to the point, or to the head, or I will say to the internal soul of the that main hero, and that main hero does not like the particular immoralism of those hooligans, and that's why the main hero goes to the hooligans and he quarrels with them, or he makes conflict with them, and in this way also the conflict happens. Means when the main hero looks some bad things in society, or when he looks the bad environment or the bad background around him, then also the conflict comes with the main hero. Because nowadays what has happened, the people have forgotten the moral values, and because of the forgetting of the moral values, some persons are there in the society who create the nuisance, or who create the disturbance to some good people. And when the main hero looks such type of background or external situation around him, then he becomes very uh, angry, and he goes into the conflict or struggle with the particular villain. I will say that in the film it is said that those persons who are disturbing that particular girl are the persons of the villain, and then in this way that hero comes into the conflict with the villain. Actually, the villain is not there. There are the people who are disturbing that particular girl, and the main hero is looking that situation. And that main hero quarrels with them, fights with them, and he defeats them. But after some days, what happens? The persons who were disturbing that girls were the people of the villain, and then those persons go away, but there is the particular conflict, and that happens between the main hero and the villain. In this way, the external situations also create the particular conflict or struggle in the mind of the main hero and the villain, I will say. In this way, here today we have seen the concept of the conflict in the film. Again, we will come in front of each other with a new topic, and that topic will be very interesting for you. Let us meet again. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.